So name, pronouns, age. My name is Max. I go by he and him. I am going to be 25 in a week. Where did I grow up? I grew up in Long Island, New York. What are your hobbies and what do you do in your spare time? So I used to struggle a lot with depression, so I'm always like trying to make sure I do whatever hobbies that I always wished I could do. When I was younger, I always wanted to skateboard, but I was afraid people would think I was a lesbian. So I stopped skateboarding. And now that I'm out as trans, I'm like, oh, I should skateboard again. Now I'm a boy. Other than that, I love video games. That's like my number one like outlet for being not bored and not sad. I really like what I do as a job, which is graphic designing, and I do consider it like a hobby. What age did I start to question my assigned gender? When I figured out that I like truly wanted to present as male, I was like, it was only a year ago, but my whole entire life I knew I wanted to be a boy, but I didn't even know it was like achievable. Earliest like memories, I was always like a boy when we would play house, but I always wished I was a boy. I definitely like pretended to be a boy online. That's how I met my first 2 girlfriends. I left out that I was like attractive, I guess. When I finally came out about it, they were like, okay. Yeah, that was like a big part of my like realizing like this is real. I'm trans. Like I always was like, is this even real? Am I just a faker? And which is such a crazy thing to ask yourself, but it's like the whole like trans enough thing. But when I, even still, if I get anxiety and I'm like, what am I doing? Am I being crazy? Just reminding myself that I literally spent most of my life pretending to be a different gender than I was at that time always helps me be like, okay, you're not being crazy. This is a real thing. So when I was like, yeah, I would say like in 2nd grade, I always wished I was a boy. How many siblings do you have and how do they take your gender expression if they're aware? I have 3 siblings, 2 of which are gay. My little sister had a little issue with it in the beginning just because she like looked up to me like so crazily, and now she was like looking up to a totally different style I was going to be wearing and was really afraid I was going to become someone different. But I mean, I assured her that obviously I'm still going to think the same things are funny, nothing's going to change, and now she's like way more obsessed with me than she's ever been. She like thinks I'm so cool, and she's like always bragging to her friends that I'm trans, and they like all her friends have like crushes on me. My whole mom's side is like outstanding. When they saw me for the first time over Christmas, since I like started testosterone, they all like cried of like, oh my god, you look so amazing, Max. You just look like you always were meant to. And then like my dad's side is like, they don't have a problem with it, but they're really not good. Activities or processes that help you deal with dysphoria. No, I truly don't. My dysphoria definitely came from my chest, which I binded for a little bit and then got top surgery. I knew before I even wanted testosterone that I wanted top surgery for sure. And now I'm like so confident with my chest, but my chest was always something that I was really uncomfortable with. I definitely have bottom dysphoria, but not in the way that I think I want bottom surgery. And I wish I had an answer for that because I struggle with that like daily. Just going through transitioning, just always wishing like I'm always worried that like testosterone's done its whole thing and I'm done and I'm like, oh god, is this where I'm gonna be stuck? Like my voice just fucking changed and I'm like today 11 months on testosterone, so I have a bunch of dysphoria. I don't know, I just kind of, instead of trying to focus on it, I'll try to keep my mind occupied like I used to when I would have like depression. And I'm lucky enough that I like forced myself out of the depression when I was younger because most people really can't. What are your thoughts on gender stereotypes and how do they affect your everyday life? I mean, they're awful and I feel like they hurt so many people's feelings on the daily. They affect my everyday life a lot. Like, I know that all these like cis, very normal girls, I know that they don't see me as like a full-on guy now. Like, they think they talk to me about all like the girl things, but I know that they wouldn't have the conversations that they do if I was a cis guy. Stereotypes definitely affect like me not being able to be as feminine as I could be. I'm just lucky to live where I live because I don't even think I would have began transitioning if I lived in like middle America or something. That was like one of the big concerns of mine when I was transitioning. I was thinking about like, am I only doing this because I feel safe here? Like, God forbid I was to move anywhere else, would I feel okay? Yeah, they just fucking suck. What are some of your favorite safe spaces, nightlife, and otherwise in your city, and why? In Brooklyn, there's so many. I just surround myself with people that obviously I feel safe around. When I go to Long Island, I don't feel safe at all. I don't go out at all. I've recently been going to Nowhere Bar, which is on 14th Street in Manhattan. I've been wanting to get more into meeting other people like myself. I just want more people that like I can like directly relate to. I really don't have that many.
Yeah.
I just have a bunch on Instagram, and that's it. If anything, what do you have to say to young kids, teens, everyone who feels stuck or afraid to be themselves? I do always wish I just came out when I was younger. I always tell my brother that like if he hadn't bullied me so much, I probably would have came out and figured out that I was trans like way long ago. You just have to say like stick in there. I mean, I was in such a bad place that when people would say like things will get better, it was like laughable. I was like, that's ridiculous. They can't get better. Just surround yourself with good people. Do you realize how beautiful and important you are? I do some days. Some days I really do. I know I'm important, but others I definitely struggle with the beautiful part.